All right, guys, this is Brian Mounts with turfmechanic.com. Today it's early mid-November. This is the perfect time, in my opinion, to start talking about ice melts and rock salt and whatnot. Obviously, there's no snow on the ground right now. You see there's a little bit of wind behind me. I'm filming this video kind of quickly because there's a storm rolling in. We're supposed to be getting some rain, some freezing rain tomorrow, and probably a dusting of snow early in the morning. And maybe in about 36 hours, we'll actually have our first real snow of the year. So I pulled my ice melts out. I don't usually have to pull these things out before November, but every now and then where I live, it does get cold in October. And if we get an early snow, this stuff matters. November, for the most part, for most people around the country, November is the best time of the year to plan for ice melt because nobody wants to go running off to the store on December 27th to pick up some ice melt and have it be gone. And that's what happens all the time if you don't plan ahead. It doesn't take a lot of time to plan ahead. I literally went to 3 different stores in my town today to see, just curiously, which stores had ice melt for sale. And we're talking like, I actually went to 4 different stores. 2 of the stores didn't have any ice melt at all on the shelves. However, my hardware stores did, but I had to go to like the lumber yard to get to it. Like, it's crazy that in early November, it's so hard to find this stuff. And then only 6 weeks from now, it's sold out everywhere and you can't find it anywhere. I want you guys, my viewers here, to be on the ball. Okay, before I get into it, I want you to know that there are lots of different ways to melt ice on the ground. There is rock salt, which is commonly known. I mean, people just put salt on the ground. That is rock salt. Now, here in this bag, I'm not going to turn it, otherwise it'll fall over. But this bag is actually called Solar Naturals Salt Crystals. Now, Solar Naturals, they're referring to solar salt. Now, there's a difference between rock salt and solar salt. Rock salt is what, let's say, mining companies can go into the ground and just pull up rock, which is salt. It's rock salt. They just pull it right out of the ground like that. Solar salt is when they take, usually it's a brine. So imagine that salt underground is sitting in a pool of water. If they suck up the fluid out of the mine instead of the rock, there is salts dissolved in the water. Now, what the solar salt does is then they put that brine out to dry. And through the sun and the wind, all of the water evaporates out of it, and you're left with pure salt. Now, the pure salt in that is called solar salt, or it's frequently called solar salt, and it is more pure than rock salt, even though it's the exact same material. It's coming from the same place. But because we're not pulling the rock out of the ground and crumbling it up, when we do that, there is debris in it. Solar stuff, the solar dried solar salt, is basically a more pure version. So it costs a little bit more. So this bag right here, because it's pure, this thing actually says for water softeners. Now, we're not using it for a water softener when we throw it on the sidewalks to keep the ice from forming. On the back, there actually is a usage section for melting ice. And if you read that, and I'll put it up on the screen, I'll take a quick picture of it. If you read that, you can see that that is a designated use for this. And you're also going to find that this solar salt, because it is pure, because it is so much more pure than rock salt, and obviously it's water soluble, it ends up getting put into products like this. So this is what I used mostly last year. This is my snowplow product, which is sold locally here at the closest hardware store to my house. This material is a mixture of solar salt. This bag right here is only solar salt, and it's a mixture of magnesium chloride. So magnesium chloride is the other, well, it's one of the other main ice melt products. Now, once you get away from salt, because I run a lawn and garden website and a lawn and garden YouTube channel, salt is not good for the grass. It just isn't. Certainly it's a natural product, but if you just put a bunch of salt on the lawn, then that area is going to slowly die. So of course, throughout the winter, if we're putting salt here on this sidewalk and then as things melt, it goes off into the grass. It's not particularly good for the grass. Magnesium chloride is better for the grass, even though it's not so obviously natural. It is a chemical compound. Magnesium chloride is found in so many, like a lot of ice melts, because it is generally safe for people and animals and the ground. It's got better properties for melting ice in the, let's call it the regular range of freezing temperatures. So anywhere from -10 degrees all the way up to 30 degrees Fahrenheit, magnesium chloride is going to do great. This product right here mixes that and the solar salt. This rock salt and solar salt, they will raise the, or they will lower the freezing temperature of ice, effectively making the ice melt when it's lower than 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Lots of rock salt bags say that they will melt ice down to 5 degrees. However, the higher above 5 degrees you are, then the more effective they become. That's why these things end up getting mixed in with this a lot, because these products, this magnesium chloride product, is more expensive than rock salt or solar salt. So rock salt's cheaper, solar salt costs more. Once you throw in magnesium chloride, the price goes up significantly more. So that's why they mix them together a lot. This product right here is actually one of the cheaper ones that I found in the store today. I'm going to be using it. It is also a mixture of magnesium chloride and rock salt. This bag does not tell me that it's using solar salt. The rock salt is less pure and cheaper than the solar variety, but it is still just rock salt in a different form. Now, the difference between this bag and this bag is that this does not include an anti-corrosive additive into it. So magnesium chloride, especially in untreated concrete sidewalks and driveways, or in brand new applications of concrete, magnesium chloride can be a little bit rough on the concrete, so a little bit corrosive. So some bags, this one is not one of them, this one is, these guys add a product in there that will, let's say, offset that corrosive effect on concrete. This does not. So of course, this one is cheaper than this one. Now, what I'm showing you right here is a version of rock salt and magnesium chloride. There are other ways of melting ice on your sidewalk. Calcium chloride is the other product that is probably the most common in the ice melt category, because calcium chloride is capable of cutting through the ice at extreme temperatures. So let's say, for instance, you live in North Dakota or Montana, where the temperatures really do get much colder than everywhere else in the country. Here where I live, we get cold, but man, we don't get tundra. We don't get Arctic blasts here. Calcium chloride is going to cut through the ice when it gets even colder than -5, -10. If you have a pure calcium chloride ice melt product, it will work at melting that ice as you get below -20, -30. I've seen a product that literally says -47. Now, I can't test -47. It's not ever going to get that cold where I live. And it's probably not going to get that cold where most of you live either. But pure calcium chloride will melt ice at extreme temperatures. For regular lawn people, where it gets to -40 degrees, do you have nice green lawns? I don't know. I can't answer that question. But I do know that calcium chloride doesn't perform as effectively as magnesium chloride in the normal freezing temperatures, let's say 10 to 15 degrees. And calcium chloride will dehydrate your grass. So if you see a product that is based on calcium chloride and you have a sidewalk right along your lawn and you don't want to damage the lawn space, you're probably not going to want to use salt or a product that has heavy salt, and you're probably not going to want to use a product that has calcium chloride as its main ingredient. If you're only using little bits and you're careful, none of these products are really going to do enormous damage to the lawn. But you never know when an accident could happen. This right here, this bag, I've got a rip in it. I could very easily, I mean, it's pure salt. I could very easily accidentally spill a pile right onto the grass. You never know. And that's why you got to understand the products that you're buying. Now, down below in the description, I've got a link over to my website. Those are the most common ways of melting ice, but there are others. There are other options out there. Some of them you're going to find in stores labeled as ice melt, but you're not going to see them there as often. And others you're going to see under different labels, but the ingredients do the job regardless what the label says. Make sure to hit that link down in the description below to find out what those extra alternatives are. But for me and my lawn, I'm going to continue using this product right here, which is the magnesium chloride product that also has solar salt in it. This straight up solar salt, I'm going to be using out on my driveway as I start going down the hill. This is much cheaper product than this is, and I don't keep a well-kept lawn down there. My driveway, if you look at it, it's a very steep hill that turns. So I want to put a lot of this down on the worst parts of my driveway. And I don't really care about the vegetation close to that driveway because I don't keep a lawn there. I mean, for me, that's the way that I save money, and I'm sure that it's helpful for a lot of you out there as well. Drop some questions in the comments. If you have any, please hit the like button. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe if you're new to this channel. Generally, I talk about the lawn and sometimes the garden, but during the winter season, things that we do affect our lawns and our gardens. So I hope you'll join me on this journey, even through the winter season. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate your time.